From KTVE, your first choice for local news and part of your community. NBC 10 News Today.
Well, the time now is 5:21. Coming up after the break, we spoke to an international president over major retail stores in the United States to talk about retail sales taxes and how they affect shoppers.
And we're back. Joining me now is Mike Kercheval of the International Council of Shopping Centers. He's its president. And Mike, a great pleasure to have you on the show this morning.
Thank you very much, Rick. Happy to be here.
Happy to have you. And Mike, I just wanted to, right off the bat, just to ask, I'm unfamiliar with your organization. Kind of talk about your organization a little bit.
Well, I'll give you the real Cliff Notes version. The International Council of Shopping Centers represents all of the retailers and retail real estate, the shopping centers all across the United States. So we are the trade association for the shopping center industry, and we're made up of the big boxes down to the mom and pops, the little shopping center right outside of Monroe, and the big malls in all the big cities. So it's the largest real estate trade association in the world that represents the retail real estate sector.
All right, you certainly made that clear. Even I can understand that and the work you do. But you're here to talk about, I guess, the sales tax, the way it's set up now, and it's kind of unfair to a lot of retailers out there. Talk a little bit about that unfairness.
Well, absolutely right, and that's what it is. It's a matter of an unfair situation that is favoring the online-only retailers through a rather curious series of events. When you buy any item in Louisiana, or frankly anywhere in the United States, at a local store, you have to pay sales taxes on that item. And the retailer collects it for you, and they submit it to the state or wherever it goes. If you purchase something from an online-only retailer outside of your state, the online-only retailer is not required to collect those sales taxes. You still are required to pay them, but that online-only retailer outside your state is not required to collect them. You are required to figure out how much you owe from those online-only retailer purchases and where you mail that, and you're somehow supposed to figure that out on your own without a whole lot of guidance. So what's happening, Rick, is there's legislation that gets the federal government out of the way, ironically, and allows the states to require out-of-state online-only retailers to collect sales taxes, just like the local brick-and-mortar retailers in their state, to collect sales taxes which are due from consumers in Louisiana and remit those taxes back to Louisiana. And that's what this legislation is all about.
Okay, and bottom line, why should the consumers out there be concerned about what's going on with all this?
Well, there are a number of different levels. First of all, these brick and mortar retailers, the mom and pop shops, that's the fabric of all of the communities. And these are the people who employ the local workers. $1 million in retail sales at a local brick and mortar store generates 4 jobs. Parenthetically, an online-only retailer, that same $1 million generates maybe 1 job. And every $100 that you spend in a local store, $68 of that 100 stays in the local community. Obviously, if you buy it from an out-of-state online-only retailer, none of that stays in the local community. The other reason, quite frankly, is the communities that are supported by these retailers locally. They are the employers. They pay property taxes. They contribute to the local Little League. They themselves make up a big part of the fabric. And we're losing those retailers. They are going out of business.
Okay, before we let you go, what is the solution here? I know there's the federal legislation that's being pushed, and I guess trying to move ahead with that, I would think.
Well, that's absolutely right. There is federal legislation in Congress right now. It's not a matter of if it's going to be passed. It's a matter of when it's going to be passed. There's broad bipartisan support. There's business support. There's consumer support. And we expect that this will be passed, if not after recess, perhaps after the election or early next year. That's the solution.
Okay, this it seems like it's affecting a lot of retailers, consumers. Where can folks go for more information on this?
Well, thank you, Rick. They can go to our website, which is ICSC.org.
All right, easy enough, ICSC.org. And
thank you.
Mike, we do appreciate your time this morning. Thanks for sharing this information.
Thank you. My pleasure.
All right, there you have it. Mike Kercheval of the International Council of Shopping Centers. He is its president, and we'll be back with more NBC 10.